This video is dedicated to Christian Roberts. Christian, thank you. Sasaya, Orochi Ascendent versus Zedruu the Greathearted, Archelos, Lagoon Mystic, and Daryl, Hunter of Walkers. And this deck list is brought to us by Mythic patron Christian Roberts. A big thank you to him for supporting us at the Mythic tier on Patreon. You can do that as well if you want to submit your own deck and have it played on the channel in a fully edited video such as this one. Now, what have we got? Are we really going to keep that? We've got a turn 1 Wayfarer's Bauble and absolutely nothing else. As much as I would love to keep that, I am not going to. Let's mulligan. Alright, that looks slightly better, if not a lot slower. But we've got stuff to do at least, so we'll keep. Just a couple of tap lands from our opponents. We get into a tap land as well, so let's just play that out and tap. Turn 1 Mana Crypt from Billy Kills, who is bringing us Daryl, Hunter of Walkers, into his red mana for Farhaven Elf and a turn 2 commander most likely. Then a Terramorphic Expanse and an Elvish Mystic from Archelos. Don't think I've played against Archelos yet. And another Terramorphic Expanse coming from Zedruu. And we get into Soul's Majesty, still nothing that we can do in the early game. So we'll just tap out and pass again. Well, the good draws continue for Billy Kills. He's emptying his hand at least. Swiftfoot Boots and a Runic Armor Saw. So he'll be able to get his commander down with haste next turn. Kodama's Reach from the Sultai player. Grixis Panorama for Zedruu will allow them to search for an island or a mountain in this case. And they go for a basic island. And it's just another land for us, so let's throw down this Burnished Heart and actually try and get something going eventually. Now his commander coming down and equipping the boots to that. And then Daryl turning in sideways towards the Zedruu player and ending the turn with Basilisk Collar, so absolutely everything he needs in the early game. He's got haste and hexproof, fast mana, all of his colours, and a Death Touch enabler as well. Now Phyrexian Arena, and Bloom Tender for the Archelos, and Endless Horizons from Zedruu. Search your library for any number of planes and you can exile them, and then I think it's during the upkeep you get one. At the beginning of your upkeep you can put one into your hand. They've just gone for a couple of dual lands there, the Azorius dual lands, and then a Triome as well, and they've got some basic planes in there, so maybe haven't rid themselves of all of the planes from the deck like some people do with Endless Horizons. A Library of Leng for us. So how's about we hold up the Burnished Heart just in case Daryl targets it, and we'll go for Library of Leng here, just have it in play. Alright, looks like we are getting given the zombies. At least one of them is going to die to Daryl this turn, I would think. We just have to hope that Kills doesn't get into the whatever it is, the Shaman staff that untaps when something dies. First off, equipping the Basilisk Collar. And then it is a Rex Sage, which would go on Phyrexian Arena, I would assume. Yep, targeting the Phyrexian Arena with that. The 2/5 Allosaurus swings in towards the Sultai player as well. And ending the turn there, seemingly. So not doing anything with Daryl just yet. A Llanowar Scout, so I wonder if this is Elf Tribal, or if they're just using these elves to ramp. And then Harmonise is draw 3 cards. And then into Sylvan Library, so a pretty constructive turn for Archelos. And Zedruu casting a Stuffy Doll, and they got the Triome out from the Endless Horizons. Don't know if they've played a land this turn or not though. I think they must have done because they went for this at 4 mana, this at 5. So we know they've got the Triome in hand. Let's crack the Burnished Heart. And that will feed Billy Kills a card with Runic Armor Saw. Just another land for us, unfortunately. Yeah, Nissa Vital Force is she just going to die they'll blow up one of our lands with the Daryl, and then swing in with these creatures and deal at least 1 damage to Nissa. They'll lose some creatures in the process though, but then that opens up these ones to swing in. Maybe we just go for Nissa anyway and encourage them to do it. If we have our Nissa survive, then we could always untap a land next turn and go for Soul's Majesty and draw some cards with that. Daryl killing off one of the walkers before the end of the turn, that will draw him another card. And this time looks like he's giving the zombies over to the Zedruu player, so that likely sees the end of Nissa. Alright, Kill's deciding to not attack, holding up 3, 6, 7 mana. And now Silver Library will trigger for Archelos. Ruin Crab, which will mill us all for 3 on landfall. And down comes a land, that is Temple of the False God. Gordo, Bandit Warlord, that's always worrying. Could go for the Infinite with that quite easily. And Dark Steel Plate. Alright, well surprisingly, we managed to get round to Nissa without her being damaged at all, so yeah, how about we just go for the emblem with her. Alright, so grabbing ourselves the emblem, let's play a land and see if we can draw into anything relevant. Alright, Animist's Awakening. Reveal the top X cards of your library, put all land cards from amongst them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom. Well, it's either that or Nissa at the moment. Maybe we go for Nissa into Animist's Awakening. Yeah, let's try that. That lands, so we'll untap 4 forests. And then let's tap out into the Animist's Awakening as well. X is 6 here. And any lands that come down will trigger the Nissa Vital Force. There's 40 lands in this deck, so you would assume that we would hit some lands here. We get 4 lands. So draw 4 cards to the emblem. Alright, and Abundance is a good one, because we want to fill our hand with lands so that we can make use of our commander. This assumes that Gordo doesn't go infinite next turn. Now, if I was the Daryl player, I would definitely Death Touch Shock this thing. Well, first they go for Dictate of the Twin Gods, so that they can deal more damage, and instead going for a Walker. I suppose they've still got a chance to do it during the Zedruu player's turn if they decide to go for a combo. Just deciding to draw a card this time. And they are back up to 40 life with that. Springbloom Druid for the Gruul player. And then just deciding to pass the turn there, wanting to play at instant speed clearly. Demonic Tutor from Archelos. And a Rampant Growth as well, highly doubt that's what they tutored for. But that does trigger their crabs, so we'll all mill 3 again. Cultural Exchange from Zedruu. Choose any number of creatures a target player controls. Choose the same number of creatures another target player controls, and they exchange control of them. And it looks like they're going after the mana dorks here, so they're being tapped in response. Runic Armosaur will trigger to the Llanowar Scout, untapping a land. Oh, it doesn't untap a land. It says you may put a land from hand onto the battlefield. Okay. So exchanging all 4 creatures with 4 zombies. And not swinging in with anything. Gordo not getting equipped up with an infinite combo. Now then, I think we need to try and get Abundance into play first of all. Then let's untap some forests. And we'll go for a Cultivate here. Get one of the lands into play tapped. We'll grab another land with the Abundance, because Nissa will trigger. We'll choose the Abundance and say that we want a land. And then we put all of those on the bottom. Yeah, we could actually play a land and replace it, couldn't we? Maybe we go for Garrick. Yeah, let's try Garrick here. Not having the best of luck getting into creatures, unfortunately. But we'll just try and make creatures here and try and keep any of our planeswalkers from getting damaged. Then I think we might as well play a forest, because like I said before, we can just replace that immediately with the Abundance. And get into a forest again, put those on the bottom. And then let's try Growing Rights of Itlamok. This isn't card draw, it's reveal the top cards. Okay, just a bunch of lands and an Alhamrit's Archive on top, so not doing anything with the Growing Rights of Itlamok. I think we need 4 creatures with this. Yeah, if you control 4 or more creatures, so we're not going to do that this turn, unfortunately. So in that case, we might as well just get down the Mind Stone. And I might just go Regal Force into Soul's Majesty, even if we don't have any green creatures in play next turn, because just holding on to the Regal Force doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot of anything for us. Daryl targets our Beast token, and they get to draw a card. They're going to be able to dish out some zombies at the beginning of the turn here. Looks like they are going to the Archelos player. Now a Dockside Extortionist from the Gruul player. Getting a load of treasure tokens, casting a Regrowth in order to get the Brash Taunter out of the bin. And then it is Basilisk Collar onto the Brash Taunter. And then deciding against it and going for the Basilisk Collar onto Daryl. Yeah, looks like there's a lot of Planeswalker hate coming in here, so all of these will deal double damage. It's any source anywhere, I think. If a source would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals double that damage instead. So I think we let Garrett go to the 2/1/1s, and then if we block... I think the zombies are going to go down to the Planeswalkers anyway, or the Planeswalkers are going to go down to the zombies, I should say. It's probably why Billy Kills gave the zombies over here. So let's just get rid of a Reclamation Sage. And we'll try and have Nissa survive. And then it is a Seedborn Muse, so now Daryl can be activated every turn. Yeah, that's pretty much what we wanted to see. A Damnation from the Sultai player. Won't help us against the Brash Taunter, unfortunately. But wrapping up Seedborn Muse and Daryl in that is really good. It's noteworthy that they decided to leave us with a Nissa. They didn't swing in with any of the zombies before doing that. So they decide to activate Daryl, targeting the Brash Taunter, and then that damage goes over to the Jeskai player. A lot of zombies die here to the board wipe, so... Oh good, yeah, so board wipe and then scoop, that's a real class act. So deciding to scoop at that. And yeah, he said that he tapped wrong, so I don't know what that means, but that looks like a shame scoop to me. Zedruu the Greathearted coming into play. Never actually looked at the chosen player with Stuffy Doll, I apologise for that. That is pointed at Billy Kills. There is a Darksteel plate on the Zedruu now. Okay, so how many lands can we get into this turn? I think we need 7 or more in hand. Yeah, if you have 7 or more lands, then flip it. So we can get 1 here, and then a further 5. So that'll put us at the amount that we need, won't it? So let's go for Abundance, and we'll take a non-land this time. And that gets us into Sprouting Vines. Search your library for a basic land, reveal it and put it into your hand. And that has Storm. So let's go... We'll make a Forest and replace that with a land straight away. And Genesis Wave and Runic Armasaur go on the bottom. We're going to shuffle our library anyway, so not too fussed about that. Just need to hope that the Regal Force stays in play here. We'll draw 1 card to that. And we'll make it a land. And then we'll untap some lands with the Nissa. And let's go for Soul's Majesty, targeting the 5/5. And we want to get some lands into hand here, up to 7. And that's what we put on the bottom this time. Okay, so we've got 6 there. We'll be able to go for Sprouting Vines. So let's go for a non-land. And that is a Boundless Realms. And we'll do that again. And that is Tempt with Discovery, putting a bunch of lands on the bottom in any order. And we grab ourselves a Tempt with Discovery as well. Let's play our commander. Then we'll play the Sprouting Vines. And that gets us 4 lands into hand. So probably could have relaxed on the Abundance going for lands here, but not to worry. We'll hopefully be able to leave our enchantment in play until the beginning of our next turn. Reveal our hand with Sasaya. Alright, and that means that that forest will now tap for 15 mana. So how's about a Boundless Realms. And we'll draw a heap of cards here. We're actually going to run out of basics. So there we are, no more basics for us to grab. So we'll go for non-lands here. We want to be getting into non-lands anyway. And that gets us into Kozilek, Butcher of Truth. And Evolution Sage. That would be good for our Planeswalker. We've got that for next turn, probably Genesis Wave. Play our entire deck with that as it stands now. Rishkar's Expertise and Alhammaret's Archive. Nissa Vastwood Seer, we can't flip this turn. Maybe we could with Collective Voyage. And then we got a Harmonize as well. Yeah, so I think I'll go for the Evolution Sage here. And then we'll go for the Rishkar's Expertise as well. 36 cards left in the library. Alright, what did we get there? That was a Mana Crypt, a Nissa's Pilgrimage, which is more landfall, which is more proliferate. There is a Beast Within as well. Maybe Beast Within onto the Swiftfoot Boots would be a clever idea. Yeah, I think we have to do that, don't we? So we'll go like that to try and keep them off of any shenanigans. And then we've got an unlimited hand size. I don't think we're going to make use of the Mana Crypt. So maybe we just keep it like that. And hope that we can keep our commander in play until next turn. We've got the lands anyway, so we can flip that round again. We'll just keep these lands in hand so that we can always flip it. Yeah, we'll leave it there, I think. This is an enchantment now, by the way. It's been left in the creature zone, but it has gone from being a legendary Snake Monk to a legendary enchantment, so this couldn't attack even if we wanted to. Thran Dynamo for kills, followed by a Farseek, and then it is Angrath's Marauders for even more damage. So that is double and... yeah, so double twice. They've got 3 mana thanks to the treasure, so they can fight with Brash Taunter. A Sphere of Safety from the Zedruu player. They have a couple of enchantments in place, so that is effectively an expensive Ghostly Prison at the moment. And then Heliod's Pilgrim. Search for an aura and put it into hand. Now the Brash Taunter is going to fight the Regal Force. And that will deal a bunch of damage to us. That is 5, doubled twice, which knocks us all the way down to 0. And then the Brash Taunter is going to fight the Angrath's Marauders, which will kill that off, but they'll be able to deal some damage directly to the Zedruu player. And that knocks them down to -4, so there we go. Brash Taunter, pretty good card apparently. Had 16 damage dealt to it from the Angrath, and then obviously that was doubled up, and that would have been 32. So going straight on to Zedruu. Good game to Billy Kills. Hopefully you all enjoyed that one. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.